Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd, and I'm Todd. So in my last video on Kate Bush, I was talking about my friend Dale, where I would go over to his parents' house in the evening, and we'd go into his music room in the basement, and he'd play music for me. So one evening he said, Todd, I know you like female vocalists, so I've got one for you. I think you're going to like her. And let me put it on and tell me what you think. So he put it on. I heard the most bizarre female vocalist I've ever heard. She was totally different. Totally different. She had this kind of like screeching yodel that I've never heard before. And her band was fairly electronic. They had guitars, synthesizers, and it had a good beat, but it was different. I mean, it was really different. Um, so I kind of said, it's not bad. It's not bad. Can we put something else on? So I said, but who was that? He says, it's Lene Lovich. And I went, Lene Lovich? Wow, I never heard of her before. That name is just bizarre in itself. And the album is Stateless. I thought, okay, that's good. I'll know that's not one that I should probably buy. Um, that album came out in 1978. It was also released in the U.S. In 1979. That's when Dale bought it. So fast forward to 1980, and he and I were in Milwaukee, and we were buying import singles. We were at our favorite stores at Candle Import Singles and Import 12 inchers, and I saw one that I just loved the picture sleeve for. It had a great picture sleeve, and it's this record right here. It's got an awesome picture sleeve. And you know me, I love buying records based on the artwork. And that's just great. And what I saw was that it was by Lene Lovich, and it's a song called Angels. So I took it home, bought it, took it home, paid the $3 for it. Import singles were about $3 back in the early 80s. And now they're like $15, and I took it home, put it on. I loved it. I mean, it's just a wild song. It's bizarre. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not bizarre, but it is a great song. So then the next single that I saw actually came out prior to Angels was this Lene Lovich. I found this at the import record stores in Milwaukee, and again, a fairly interesting picture sleeve, and it's called Bird Song, and it's even more bizarre than Angels. I mean, it is just a really bizarre song, and but I liked it. I really liked it, and so what I did was I found that she had put out a new album in the UK. It came out in '79 in the UK, but in the United States it didn't come out until 1980, and it was on Stiff Epic Records. So she was on the Stiff Records label, which is an independent record label that started in 1976 in the United Kingdom and went to about 1987. Lasted for 10 to 11 years. And the big thing about Stiff is they had Elvis Costello. They found Elvis Costello, and they're saying that the first punk single was released on Stiff Records, which was New Rose by the Damned. So the Damned were also on Stiff Records. But the album that I'm talking about is Flex. Great cover. Let me pull that back just a little bit right there. Awesome cover. Love that cover. I mean, it's pretty much like the Angels picture sleeve. Although she's doing something else. She's kneeling and playing with some pucks. Great cover. So I bought the album and I loved it. I mean, I just loved the album. It was just great. So I actually went back and bought Stateless and played that over and over again. Lena became one of my most favorite female vocalists. She is just totally unique, dresses very bizarre, and, and does some great songs. She had 3 albums for Stiff Records. She did one more album after Flex, which is called No Man's Land. And Stiff Records then kind of dissipated. And then she went off to a couple of other independent labels and did some more music. She did a couple of songs with Nina Hagen. And she got very active into animal rights. So she's very talented person in her own right. She plays saxophone. She was born in Detroit, Michigan, and moved to the United Kingdom when she was 13 years old. So that's a short history of Lene Lovich. But the song that I want to play is her first single that she had with Stiff. And that first single is I Think We're Alone Now, the cover of the Tommy James and the Shondells song. And the picture sleeve is just great. I mean, it's a great picture sleeve. And what's unique about this single is they only pressed 5,000 copies because they weren't sure it was going to sell, and it really didn't sell very well. But to be honest with you, but for me to find one later on, I could not find one. It was so difficult to find because of only 5,000 were pressed, so few were pressed. I did find one. This is a very nice copy, and I want to show you the Stiff label for this particular record. Stiff had some great labels on their records. That's one of their many variations on their label, but great record label. I've got everything that Stiff put out in the U.S. and in the U.K. Just love the label. And with that, we're going to watch Lene Lovich do I Think We're Alone Now with her band. Here we go. Okay, sorry, stopped it right there. My finger got stuck on the mouse. Um, that's Lene Lovich, and that's not as bizarre an outfit as what she does wear later on. There's an interview with her in 1983 with some Australian TV show, and she's got the most bizarre getup in that interview. And the guy who's interviewing says, "What are you wearing, and what do you call that?" She says, "Oh, I just put this on. It's kind of like my party dress." And she's got stuff coming out of her hair, and oh, it's bizarre. But she is cool that way. She is totally different than any other female vocalist that I know of. She just represents herself so well. And I was reading too that they sort of compare to goth music. I don't I think she's more electronic new wave, but they kind of put her into the goth realm, and I think a lot of it has to do with how she presents herself and how she dresses. But I love Lena Lovich. She was so hot in the UK and in Europe, and then she in 1983 did a tour of the Pacific area, like Japan and Australia and New Zealand, and that went so long, and the music was changing so quick in the UK in that time frame in the early 80s that when she got back, she was already replaced by other female vocalists and was never able to regain her her level of importance in the music scene in the United Kingdom. But great artist, I love her. I can't tell you where to start because each one of her albums are so bizarre. I'd say just pick an album or just go through YouTube and pick some videos and see what you like. But it's worth it. I love her. She's great. So with that, I hope you enjoyed Lena Lovich. I think We're Alone Now, her version of Tommy James song. If you did like that, go and click the like below. That'd be cool. If you know anything about Lena Lovich, Stiff Records, this song, please add it in the comments below. That'd be great. I love reading the comments, and I believe other people who watch the videos love the comments as well. And if you haven't done it, subscribe to my channel right now. Go down there, pick subscribe, pick subscribe. Do it now. It's free, and you won't be sorry. Pick the bell, and you'll get updates on my latest videos. With that, I'm done here for the day. I'm hoping you're having a great day. Remember, keep that smile up and keep it with those lifts going upwards. That's a smile. It makes everybody happy. And I'm hoping everything goes well for you. And peace out, baby.